Well, here we go again for another bit of a session with one of our members on helping people at the moment with some of the challenges they might be having with the whole coronavirus thing. And I'm really excited to have Lorraine Parker from Elders Insurance on the call. How are you, Lorraine?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Brad.
Excellent. So Lorraine's been a big supporter of the Chamber now for a couple of years. And in terms of insurance, because this is something a lot of people may not have considered at the moment, we wanted to just make sure that everybody was thinking about what your options are, what you need to be considering at this point. And no better person than Lorraine to sort of help us out with that. So what I'm going to do is, like we've done with all the other videos we've done, Lorraine, I'm going to share up the screen so that we can have a look at the bullet points as we go. And we're still going to see little pictures of you and me on the top. So the first question I wanted to understand and have a bit of a chat to you about was, what are the critical things we must consider with insurance at this time?
Basically, don't go out and cancel your insurance just because you say you can't afford it. There are ways that that the insurance company can help you. One of them is hardship. So basically, if you are suffering and you don't have a business anymore and you've still got a building or something you need to insure, there are ways that people can actually get some assistance from the insurance companies. And that's
probably a lot of the people at the moment are thinking we've got to reduce costs and that, but you've still got to maintain, you know, I guess legal obligations to a certain degree as well, haven't you? Because there's
especially if you've got a mortgage, yeah, the bank would still want you to have some sort of insurance over the, they need the certificate of currency where they're noted, so you can't just go around and cancel your insurance. So unfortunately.
Yep. And this is one of the things we were talking about before that I probably never really realised, and a lot of people, is that the insurance companies and like banks and those sorts of things are actually, if you talk to them, can be quite helpful in finding a solution for us. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, if a customer comes to you, regardless of the coronavirus or any sort of thing, if they come to you with some sort of an issue where they can't pay their bills, can't make my next payment, so we might defer it for a month and make the policy. They sort of take their payment out another month or something like that.
Yep.
Or you can fill out a form and there'll be ways that they can help you minimise that. Excesses, you can increase your excesses to a degree which will reduce your premium.
Okay.
Yep. Now, the other thing that you can do is if you've got an annual premium, not everybody pays their premiums yearly, but if they do, and you've just paid a lump sum payment, you can actually cancel that policy and renew it again straight away, but do it as a monthly policy. So that way you get cash flow back in your pocket, and then you get monthly premium.
Okay.
Now, some companies do. Sorry.
Keep going. Yep.
Some insurance companies make you pay what they call premium funding, whereas Elders Insurance, we don't do that. We just have a basic whatever your premium is. It's divided by 12, so there's no extra costs involved.
Yeah, right.
But speak to your brokers if you've got a different situation. It's got to be better than nothing. But at least it would help get some cash flow back into your hands.
Yeah. And when we, a lot of the things we've been talking about, like talk to Bernie and talk to Carolyn about, and there's a bunch of incentives. Well, not so much incentives, but support from the government. You can put things on hold and all those sorts of things. So insurances is definitely something that, the main message I guess we're looking for here is people don't cancel your insurance. Not at this point. Talk to your broker and see if you can find out a way to keep it going, because as soon as you let it go, that's more than likely going to be the one time that you actually need it, particularly in these uncertain terms and times, I guess. So really important. Excellent.
So
okay.
If you're experiencing anything, just pick the phone up and call, because that's the only way you're going to get it sorted out. And in this environment, in this climate, this thing that's going on, no one's going to knock you back. There's no way that you'll be able to sort of say, no, you have to pay this and whatever. There'll be ways that we can work things. So.
Yeah. And I mean, you're happy for people from Chamber to give you a call. Most people will recognise you from different events. They can look you up on the Chamber website and give you a call, just to have a bit of a chat and give them some help, because I guess that's the main thing at the moment is we need to get help from the people who know their stuff. And you're one of those people in our group who can be helping our members. So really important. All right. Next question I wanted to ask you was about what are some of the most common questions that people should be asking their insurance brokers or agents at this time?
Well, they need to look at their cover and just make sure that their cover is adequate, because most people don't actually do that on a yearly basis. They'll get the renewal, the broker sends it out, and in most instances they just pay it. Now, the difference, and I'm not trying to push Elders Barrow, but there is a difference where we actually get in touch with our customers and talk to them about whether they've got anything different. So that should be happening every year. So if it's not, that's when it's probably not a bad idea to review your insurances. Make sure that just certain things you might not need cover on, stuff that that you're not using at this point in time, like machinery breakdown or
well, that was one of the things we were talking about off the call, was if you've got a bunch of plant that you're not using, maybe you don't need to insure it at this point.
Only for your fire and perils. Don't ever get rid of that, but that's going to be your concern, is just to keep some form of insurance going to protect the asset, because once it's over, there may be a lot of sort of issues with vandalism, malicious damage. That's the last thing you want, is to have an empty building where someone's going to come along and wreck it, set fire to it, and you haven't got any insurance, because it's one thing to lose your livelihood, but another, the whole lot goes, and you're even worse off. So I'll just keep the cover, look at your cover, make sure it's adequate too, and if there's something that you can change, like I said, the excesses might be something you might want to look at. The higher your excess, the lower your premium.
So how would a business owner, how do you know if it's adequate? What sort of do you need to be considering to see?
Okay, so when you insure a building, it has to be for what it would cost to actually rebuild it, the building. You've got to take into account the debris that has to be removed, and also any sorts of lag in time. You've got to get an architect to redesign the building, council plans. I mean, that could take quite a lot of time. And there's sorts of things that people need to look at. That's where people who underinsure get upset with the insurance companies when they don't pay enough money, because they're only, what they'll really do is, if you underinsure, there's a penalty for that with business insurance, whereas not. So if you insure your house and contents and you don't have enough money, we'll just give you the 200,000 you said it was worth, and that's all you're going to get.
So it's ancillary costs as well that you need to consider. Okay.
And so you got to make sure that you are still adequately covered. Doesn't mean you go around, increasing your insurance. You want to sort of make sure that you've got the correct amount.
Okay. Excellent. And is there anything else that you can think of that people kind of really need to keep in mind at the moment? I haven't really had too many people come to me yet, so I haven't come across those issues. I've got a colleague that's having a lot of issues with this, because he's got a lot of business insurance. House and contents people are still, getting along, but no, can't. I mean, it's only early days yet, so I'd imagine that we're not going to see the worst of it until weeks to come. Okay, excellent. Well, listen, thank you very, very much for the tips today. And if people want to sort of get in touch with you and they're a bit lost, they're not sure what they should do, they can find you on the Chamber website page, look up Elders Insurance with Lorraine Parker, and reach out. And you've always been pretty helpful with helping people. So by all means, we need to sort of come together at this point and help each other out. So thank you very, very much, Lorraine. Anything else you wanted to sort of offer before we close off? Pretty much got it covered all.
No, it costs nothing for people to get quotes, and just shop around if you need to. Sometimes, I mean, even it doesn't it costs you a phone call and a bit of time, and I think everyone's got that on their hands at the moment.
That's it. We've all got plenty of time, haven't we? So very important. So, all right. Well, listen, thank you again for jumping on the call and giving us some tips, and hopefully we'll catch up again at another event soon.
Yes. Okay. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Bye.
Okay. So that's stopped recording. So we don't need to edit anything in that, do we?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, that was perfect. Got all the points we wanted, I think.